We're in Mummy's nursery. Here she is. Here she is. So I wanted to actually like sit down and film, talk about my birth story really. Might be with Remy, might be without Remy, because she is right here. I thought the fitting place to do it would be in Remy's nursery. So yeah, I did, well we did, Luke did, a birth vlog, but not like too intimate, you know what I mean, basically. But yeah, so I thought I would do a talking version of it, obviously going into more detail, because some people like birth stories, some people don't. So I had an emergency C-section, not what I wanted, but I wouldn't change it for the world. So yeah, I will kind of go through it all now. So Remy is 5.5 weeks now, so I'm 5.5 weeks postpartum. The camera died, the battery died I mean. So let's go. So we are, where are we? So basically on the 31st, my due date was the 22nd of September. Remy arrived on the 19th. December. My head is an absolute shed. Remy's due date was the 22nd of September. Oh! Trumpy! She arrived on the 19th of September. So 3 days early, so I was 39 plus 4 weeks. So on the 31st of August, I thought I'd just weed myself basically. So sat on the sofa downstairs, and it was just a little trickle, like uncontrollable trickle, like the tiniest little trickle ever, and I thought, is that wee? Is that water? Obviously I don't know, never had a baby before, ever. Pause the video. Yeah. Multitasking at its finest. So yeah, as I was saying, I think so yeah, a little trickle on the sofa, and I said to Luke, I was like, I don't know if that's just a bit of wee or if that's my water. So I'm googling what to do, as you do. Yeah, as you do. Yeah. So it's just said like the difference between waters and wee, obviously. Well, I say obviously, I didn't know, and apparently I still didn't know. But to put a pad on, and if it continues leaking, it's your waters. And obviously if there's nothing else, it's probably wee. And there's a smell difference between the two. So nothing else came out, and it did smell like wee, to be honest. So I thought, nothing else has come out, so I'm not going to do anything. Probably should have done something, but here we are. Fast forward to the 19th, 18th, 17th of September, which is Sunday. Me and Luke went to a food festival somewhere, and I was like really uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. I'm just very pregnant, like very pregnant. Yeah, because you was inside. You was. And then Sunday evening, my mum and dad came over for some reason to pick something up or do something to the house. Thanks again. And I was on my ball, and I just felt like, I think it was like one contraction. I was like, that's a different feeling. I was like, oh, I'm gonna bear that in mind. So I did, and then Sunday night I slept okay, like not the best, not the worst, and just normal pregnancy sleep at that stage, to be honest. And then Monday morning, it was like a contraction, like a very small contraction. Then it would go, and I was like, And I did start tracking them on a tracking app. We track contractions, and it was like I had 3, and they was like 30 minutes apart, but they were only like 20 seconds each. But I said to Luke, I was like, if I have another one at such and such time, they're every 30 minutes apart, and this could really be the start of it here. It really could. So we went to the gym as normal, because I did train the day I went into labour, but I trained right up. So I went to the gym. It was not a great session, obviously. And then went for a walk, because I've been doing 10,000 steps every day the whole pregnancy. So I did that. I did 4,000. I was like, I'm dying, can't do it anymore. Came home and just chilled a bit. So then the midwife, the contractions carried on, but not getting any closer together, not getting any further apart, not getting any longer, just the same. So I rang the hospital, and I was at Calo, Chesterfield Royal Hospital. So I rang them and said, this is my situation. I also started losing my mucus plug, just no blood, just jelly on Sunday night or Monday morning, one or the other. I rang them and told them my situation, and I said, I know I don't need to come in now, but what's the point that I need to come in or need to ring back up? And she said, if contractions are, I can't remember what she said now, if you're having 3 contractions within 10 minutes or something like that, I really can't remember, so don't quote me on that, but something like that, or you get any fresh red blood, you should ring up or come straight back in. So I was like, right, okay, carried on the day as normal. I did feel a bit rough, to be fair, but you know, they weren't getting worse or more intense or further apart or close together. They just carried on as normal. So I carried on as normal, really. Went to bed Monday night at 10 o'clock. I say went to bed, I didn't sleep at all. And then I was timing the contract. I had my phone on the pillow next to me, and I was timing the contractions. I didn't, like I said, I didn't sleep at all. And every time, I just closed my eyes, but then every time one came on, I would track it on my phone and be like, breathing through it. Luke's snoring at the side of me, which is annoying. If you know, you know, if you're a female. And then I went to the toilet, and it was like pink mucus plug, TMI. So I was like, right, okay, this is happening. And if you're someone like me who had no idea what all these things were, you learn, and you learn quick. You do. So then I think that was like midnight, and then contractions started being, oh, unless we're here, we're not happy. Contractions started being every 10 minutes apart, but then they would go, and then they would come back. So I was like, back again, just with a sleepy baby. So yeah, contractions every 10 minutes apart. But then they'd calm down a bit, so I was like, I think it's going to happen soon, to be honest. It's going to happen. But like I say, then they'd slow down, then they'd go, and then, you know, all that stuff. So then it was 1 AM, so I'd not had any sleep. Went to bed at 10, like I said, and it was 1. And then I went to the toilet, and there was fresh red blood. And I was like, oh my god, she said to ring back straight away if that happened. So I'm out of breath. Not even pregnant anymore. So I rang up and I told her the situation, and she said, right, okay, just, it doesn't sound too bad, but just because it's fresh red, come in, bring your hospital bags, you'll probably be sent home, but just come in. I was like, okay. So I'd been downstairs, rang the hospital, come back upstairs, Luke's still snoring. So I woke him up, I was like, babe, we need to go. He's like, what? So yeah, off we go to the hospital. Get there at like 2 AM on the 19th, so that's the Tuesday morning, early hours. Oh, my throat. Get examined. So a midwife checked me, and then a doctor had to come in and do checks and examine me internally. She wasn't bothered about the fresh red. She said it's just a really, really bloody show. If you don't know what that is, you will when you're pregnant. That wasn't the concern, but you have to be examined and checked anyway, because I was having contractions, because you put on the monitor, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. So this man checks me, and he's like, yeah, I'm not concerned about the blood, because it's just your show, but you're 3 centimetres dilated already, and have your waters broken? I was like, Okay, I don't think they've broken, but if you're going to tell me they have, I won't be too surprised, but I genuinely thought it was wee. So then they had to do like a swab to see if, because there's 2 lots of waters, didn't know that until I was pregnant. They had to swab to see if the front, I don't know if it's front and back or upper and lower, I can't remember, I think it's front and back. Check if they'd both gone, and that came back straight away that they had both gone. So then, because also if your waters break within 24 hours, if your contractions haven't started, there's more risk of infection for baby. So obviously mine was the 31st of August and we're now on the 19th of September. So they were like, okay. He went, yeah, so you're not going home, you'll have this baby today. We need to induce you. I want to put you on the hormone drip. And I'm like, for God's sake, all I wanted to do was get in the bath. I'm not one of these people who had a birth plan. I didn't want like a you know, a pretty little birth. I just wanted birth to just, whatever was going to happen was going to happen. But ideally, I friggin' love a bath, so I would have liked to get in the birth pool. But you know, so that was out the window. I was being induced. The hormone drip's freaking brutal, apparently. Yes, it is. I can vouch for that. But the hormone drip's brutal. And you can't eat while you're on that either. So most people have the babies within 12 to 18 hours of the drip being inserted. So I wasn't going to eat. Bearing in mind I'd already not eaten since tea time the Sunday night, which was like 7 PM, and it's now probably 4 AM the next morning, and I wasn't going to be able to eat for it till baby was here. So I was like, I need some toast please, or I need something, because like, you're telling me I can't eat, I'm actually going to die. How am I going to have the energy to push out this baby? So we got moved to our birth suite. I can't remember what number it was. You have to go back and watch the other vlog. And then they're like, right, so have you got any preferences? Whatever. I had my tea and toast, and then the hormone drip had to wheel like a thingy around with me all day. I was attached to that from then onwards. That started at 6:30 in the morning. So contractions were still starting. I didn't want any pain relief really. I just wanted to do gas and air for as long as I could. But like I said, I wasn't ruling anything out. Ideally, I didn't want a C-section. Ideally, I didn't want the epidural. I just wanted gas and air. So yeah, I didn't even start using the gas and air until probably 9 AM ish. And I've been having contractions since the Sunday night. So it got to, I can't remember what time, about 11:30 in the morning. And I said to Luke, I was like, I'm absolutely knackered. I've not slept since Sunday night. I really am in pain now. So I think I want diamorphine or something. So I just wanted to sleep. I was like, I'm going to have no energy to push if I don't get any sleep. And diamorphine apparently knocks you out, which is good. So then I said that to the midwife, and she was like, that makes baby sleepy as well. So I'm going to do an internal check, see how dilated you are, if you've moved on any at all or not. If you're over a certain point, I'm not giving it to you, because if you deliver within 2 hours, baby will be sleepy and need more work when she comes out, blah blah blah. So she checked and she went, no, you're not having it, you're 7 centimetres dilated. So I was like, right. I've gone from 3 to 7 in a very, very short space of time. So that then spurred me on, to be honest. I was like, right, I've got it, I can do it. So carried on, gas and air. No other painkillers, nothing. And then I can't remember if it's every 2 hours or every 4 hours of check here. I can't remember for the life of me. But it got to the next one. And me and Luke had got this really good technique with the gas and air. And I was on the birthing ball, like sat on the ball, like leaning over onto the bed. I couldn't sit down on the bed, I couldn't lie down on the bed. I needed the ball, just to be on the ball. No other position was good. Every time you go to the toilet, I was in there for about 20 minutes because I'd literally have about 30 seconds without a contraction. But yeah, so where was I up to? All that. So Luke's been massaging my back. I'm puffing on this gas and air, and I'm like, I've got Justin Bieber playlist on in the background, like for 8 hours, and he's like, can we change the music? I'm like, nope, this is not about you. But yeah, so she comes back in and she checks me again, and she's like, oh, you're 9 centimetres now. So I was like, right, it's working, come on. And then another 2 hours pass, the same thing's going off, and I am literally in agony because I've been going for like however many hours, just gas and air, with Luke massaging my back and having like 30 seconds rest in between each thing. She comes back again and she's like, you're still 9. I'm like, you're joking me. Then another doctor comes and examines me, and I'm not being horrible, that was a brutal examination. Literally, it was like shoulder deep. My back was like arching upwards, like doing the crab. She was like, is that hurting? I was like, yeah. Even the midwife was like, yeah. This, obviously I'm doing this very, 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 like, tucked back. There's a lot more details I could go into, but I'm not gonna, so I'll be here for hours. And I was like, what pain relief can I have? I need something else now because I'm at my actual limit and I've got no energy. I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. So she gave me the choice of the epidural and something else. The other thing was not good for baby, so I was like, oh, I don't really want that. So I was like, epidural, just do it now. You've got 30 seconds, because you have to sit up on the bed, like lean over, blah, blah, blah. So the most painful, the worst part was actually trying to get sat up and in position for them to put it in, to be honest. Not actually the needle, because that don't bother me. So yeah, I'd got to 9 centimetres on my own, on just gas and air, this was after 12, 13, 14, like 15, 16 hours, naturally, just gas and air. Then I had that, so I was fuming at myself, and I was like, just get over it, don't cry. Had that put in, and I was like a different person, because I don't think I spoke to Luke for like 4 hours. I was in that much pain. So yeah, had that put in. Everything was fine. And then I got examined again. So even though they say the more examinations you have, the more risk of infection the baby's got, they weren't holding back on them. So I got checked again by the same not horrible doctor, the same doctor that hurt me the time before. And she was like, she's 10 centimetres. Great, we can start pushing. So I was like, right, great, pushing at 7 o'clock at night. So 7 o'clock comes, obviously I'm telling mum and dad only, and Luke's mum and dad. They're like, it's been the longest day ever. I'm like, how do you think I feel? So yeah, 7 o'clock comes, get in position, start pushing. Pushing is like a really weird, really, really weird, not experience, feeling, sensation, whatever, because I had none anyway, but yeah. So yeah, pushing for about 15 minutes, I would say, ish. Obviously this is all a blur, I've never been so high in my life. And the pressure is unreal. Like, no one tells you about the pressure that you have. It's just something else. Like I say, this is a very tame explanation of the experience. So then I'm pushing, thinking it's all going well. She's like, yeah, you're doing well, whatever. And then she's like, oh, what's your baby doing? And then she's like, Luke, just pull the emergency lever, please. And I'm like, what? So he pulls the lever. He gets pushed to the side. You sat up on the bed with your legs in stirrups, like you've no dignity whatsoever. The bed literally gets whipped back, not even flat, like downwards. And I'm like, what is going off? Then obviously the emergency lever has been pulled, so everyone rushes in. It was 7:15. 7:15 is changeover time for the staff, where they come in and they do all the changeover. So I had 2 lots of staff come rushing in. I've never seen, like, it was literally like that, like 2 seconds, absolute joke. And then there's someone at the side of me explaining things. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, where's Luke, what's happening? And then a doctor walks in and he's like, right, turn the music off, what's happening? Baby's heart rate then comes back up, so everyone's like, right, chill. But that seemed like the longest, probably 2 minutes, if that, of my life. So everything was fine again. I didn't get rushed off, more internal checks, and I had 2 millimeters of membrane. So what had happened was Remy's head was getting stuck on this 2 millimeter circle, whatever. She didn't like it, so I think it was the pressure on her head. I don't know the full story, obviously. She got stuck basically, so she wormed her way back up. And then the doctor was like very chilled about it, and it was very like and ahhing if we're going to go for a section or if we're going to try again and push. And he settled on try again and push. so it couldn't have been that bad. So I was like, okay. He said, I'll give you another half an hour, like reset yourself a little bit, or maybe it was another hour, I don't even know. And then he came back in, did another check, and he said, I think we're going to take you down for a C-section, just because I don't want to stress Remy out even more. You're very, very exhausted. You've had no sleep, no food, no energy to push, blah, blah, blah. And your baby's got quite a bit of swelling on the head. So I was like, great, just take me down and just get this baby out. I was so over it at this point. Then it's like 8:30, whatever time. So obviously communicating with parents, this is what's happening, going down for a section. It was classed as an emergency, but it wasn't like leave her, rush down into theatre. So yeah, so Luke's got all his scrubs on and stuff. Then he disappears because they're not allowed in with you at first. So I'm being wheeled down this corridor, friggin' massive, whatever. And then the shakes start. Like, I've never been shaking so much in my life, and all day I've been feeling sick, shaking a little bit, you know, bellyache and all that kind of stuff. But the whole experience was just like, whoa. So you took down into theatre. It's bright white lights, like I've never seen them. I don't know, it's just a friggin' experience. The epidural's being topped up because it did wear off, so I could feel everything again. And they was like, you shouldn't feel pain, you should just feel the sensation. So I was like, okay, I need to top up then because I'm feeling pain. Like, give me more gas and air, please. And then you have to sign all this stuff and all this scary stuff. I'm like, I don't care, just sign, I'll sign it, whatever. Just please get this baby out. So yeah, I'm scared. There's so many people in there. I don't think anyone talks about this, and if they do, I've not heard it myself. So I'm like, what? But no one was talking to me, no one was explaining stuff, and I was like, where's Luke? What's happening? What's going off? Like, someone please talk to me. And then I think it had started, and I was like, where is Luke? Like, someone get Luke. I then started crying at this point because I was literally shaking like so much. Just from adrenaline, from like nerves, scaredness, whatever you want to call it. And then he comes in anyway. And I'm just like, is this even happening? It's just a joke. It was 9 o'clock at night at this point that I got took down. Remy arrived at 9:14 p.m. But I could feel the sensation, but I could also feel pain, and I was like, I need someone to top me up now. I'm holding Luke's hand, I'm shaking so much, whatever, the list goes on. Remy then comes out. I can't see her. She doesn't get put straight on my chest. Like, what's happening? And then Luke's like, she's here, she's beautiful. I'm like, I can't see her, and I'm obviously crying. I can't stop shaking just from adrenaline. And then I look over and they're like, not resuscitating, but just giving her a bit of like attention. She needs the attention, she needs to get warm. All the stuff that they normally do, no one was talking to me, so I was like, what's happening? Give me my baby. But I just then looked to the side and I just saw her, so I just burst out crying even more. But then I was crying because she wasn't crying. And I know they don't always cry straight away, but you just, I don't know, it's just, it takes over you in that moment. But then obviously Luke went over to cut the cord, so I'm by myself again. I'm like, please don't leave me. So then I finally get her on my chest. The first noise she made, I just literally burst into tears. I've never cried so much in my life. Just a relief. But then I could feel every single stitch. The pain down my right side was a joke. Like, I could feel it, yeah, but I could feel the pain. I was like, I need gas and air, I need something, like someone give me something, I can feel this pain. So basically feeling being stitched up. But then she arrived, 9:14 on the 19th of September, weighing £7.2, and it was just an experience, basically. So yeah, that's the birth story talking version. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't a good experience. The staff were amazing, you know, my midwives were amazing. The surgeons, like, they're very, I don't want to say they have no heart, but it's their normal, so they're very much chilled about the situation. Whereas I could have just needed like a little bit of reassurance, you know, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad experience. It was a successful induction that ended in an emergency C-section that wasn't really an emergency, but it was. And yeah, it wasn't the birthday I planned, but she's here and I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, that is the birth story complete. I hope that all makes sense. I've probably missed out so many details. In fact, I probably know I have, but it's really hard to explain it all, and I don't even want to talk about it anyway. Well, I do, but pretty, I'll never forget it, basically, we'll put it that way. So, yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next video.